There was a time when 7 Days to Die felt like the grimmest, jankiest, most unpredictable sandbox survival experience out there. A messy, broken masterpiece of sorts. But as we prep towards the so-called 1.0 release, which in the menu says that the game is not released yet, by the way, it feels like that original identity is being stripped away, layer by layer. I got into this game around Alpha 13 or so, and at the time it was pretty novel and nothing else was quite like it. It blew me away. And I was hopeful and happy where it was going for a while. Maybe the pinnacle was Alpha 16. Back then, in Alpha 16, the game was a pure sandbox. It was survival with light RPG elements layered in. You'd scavenge a busted-out grocery store, patch your bleeding arm with garbage, and maybe find a shotgun that might work. Everything felt earned. The world didn't hold your hand, it just handed you a pipe and said good luck. RPG mechanics existed, but they were subtle. You had skill levels, yeah, but they supported your choices. They didn't dictate them. You could ignore leveling almost entirely and just play. Survive, experiment. The freedom was core to the experience. But now, after 1.0, 7 Days to Die feels less like a sandbox and more like a grindy linear RPG pretending to be a survival game. It's like the devs don't know what they want the game to be anymore. Or they never knew what they wanted it to be in the first place. They were just winging it. And they were surprised people kept paying them for so long. We've got neon-colored skill badges, perk systems that funnel you down rigid class paths, and even a weird obsession with removing mechanics that used to feel grounded. Like remember when you had to wear a poncho to cool you down in the desert and you had to put on layers of clothing and winter jackets to survive in the winter biomes? You know, because that makes sense. Well, now you kill a few zombies, you dig a few holes, you pick up some garbage, and then suddenly you can survive in a nuclear wasteland. How does that make any fucking sense? That's like mobile game bullshit. They're not adding depth. They're streamlining everything into the sterile MMO light structure. You used to find food, now you're chugging sugar candy for buffs. That's not survival, it's arcade mode. Where's the grit? Let's talk about the tone. The older versions of the game were bleak, unpolished, and full of weird charm. NPCs didn't baby you. Zombies were unpredictable. Even the UI had soul. It had its own handcrafted look to everything. And then one day, one update, they stripped that all away and replaced it with this MS Paint looking interface all over the place that, yeah, maybe it's more functional, but it just looks completely devoid of any personality. The game back then felt more immersive and believable. Now, it's like they're going for a family-friendly apocalypse. Everything glows, everything's labeled, and the rough edges are being sanded off. It's not that the new version is bad, it just doesn't know what it wants to be. Is it a hardcore survival sim? Is it a looter-shooter RPG? Is it an arcade zombie MMO? It feels like the devs are chasing every trend and abandoning what made 7 Days to Die interesting in the first place. There's no vision, there's just feature creep. Every update adds features. New perks, new icons, new systems, new POIs, but what's the vision? Where's the end goal? Where's the coherent idea? 7 Days to Die used to be a blank canvas for chaos. Now it's a checklist. Upgrade strength, pick a perk, cut down trees, loot the vending machine, eat the candy for buffs, repeat. It's like watching a gritty indie film turned into a Marvel movie. Cleaner? Sure. More accessible? Maybe, but the soul and personality is gone. I'm not saying the game is dead, but I'm saying it's confused. If this really is the road to 2.0, then maybe the real apocalypse is watching a once bold survival sandbox get turned into a focus-tested product. Let me know if I'm just jaded and incorrect here, if you feel the same, because right now 7 Days to Die feels like it's just lost the plot. Subscribe for more game commentary that doesn't pull punches. Or don't, I'm not your quest giver.